kind of weird. I mean, I guess they were like, okay, this is the faction that has the biggest advantage against my pick or whatever.
It can also be seen as like they don't want to play versus UEF because UEF is arguably the strongest, or at least one of the strongest factions on Open Palms, and um, but they didn't necessarily want to pick UEF first. Maybe they felt more comfortable with another faction. They just didn't
Yeah.
want to play versus like, not a comfortable faction, but a better faction, kind of. Okay, so second game on Roanoke Abyss, we have Turbo at the top playing Aeon, and Tagada at the bottom playing
Turbo
Cybern.
really likes picking Aeon on these like Navy 20x20s. He loves to pick Aeon on Point of Reach, and now he's also picking Aeon on Roanoke. Those two are my sample size. Thank you.
I mean, you're kind of right. Turbo is quite often. I mean, he used to pick UEF mostly, I'm pretty sure, but he picks quite a bit of Aeon now as well. I mean, the thing though on Roanoke, I'm guessing they both vetoed Sarah, or maybe one of them vetoed Aeon and Cybern, like their other picks. But uh,
Hmm.
let's say for sure that none of them picked or vetoed UEF.
I'm 100% sure Tagada picked Sarah and got Sarah vetoed because this didn't you watch the Arona with him pick being Sarah, or was that somebody else in the tournament? I don't remember.
I think it was someone else.
Oh, okay. But I know he does enjoy playing Sarah, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was his first pick. And I am of the opinion that Sarah is stronger than Cybern in this map.
Well, yeah, but I'm not sure about Aeon. No, Sarah is
And
really strong, but Aeon is also strong on these maps. The only issue with Aeon is that you have to survive the Tech 1 stage and not have
oh
too
yeah, it
many
was a
fricate
Blackheart
issues.
Turbo game that you
Oh,
watched
yeah,
on.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blackheart was
So
Aeon and
yeah.
Cerber was Saga.
So Turbo does have the advantage of he does have the game experience of playing the Roanoke for the second time in a tournament. So he, even though you people sandbox the games that Roanoke has played a lot, still coming in with the edge of having it fresh in your mind is something to take into account. But that also means that Tagada could have watched his games and have an understanding of how exactly Turbo intends to play the map.
That's true, yeah, because Turbo did do a bit of a weird indie rush in that game. Uh, that didn't really work out. I mean, I guess Tagada can't really learn a lot from that other than not to be scared about it, but Turbo might not do it again because it didn't work out.
Yeah, it's a bit of mind games. Does he do the thing that didn't work out again, and do I hard counter it, or do I just assume that he's changed his mind because he's realized it's bad? How much respect do you give your opponent?
But maybe you expect the respect and then do the opposite.
We've entered. It's like, man, I can do math fast, but I sure can't get the right answers. Oh boy.
Okay.
Are they both? Yeah, Tagada is going to get his air factory up slightly quicker. I think. I'm actually not sure. Just the builds are like so
It's
identical.
so even. There's not really a lot to say. Like Slow says, there's not a lot of different things to do at the start. Uh, just slight alterations, but nothing.
Excuse me, but Turbo has reclaimed more of his 10 pile rocks than Tagada has. This will
Arch,
impact the game very quickly, very
Arch just
immediately.
said it's not FAF version they're playing. Uh, very nice.
I don't.
I guess they have to deal with it. It's not that big
I
of a
think.
change.
Yeah, I think all it changes is that some of the mexes on the mid island, like they're closer to the coast, but it doesn't change something where like one person can fire in the middle mexes while the other person can't.
Yeah,
I think it's more aesthetic.
it's more aesthetic. It's the change is so little that unless everyone was rated 8,000 rating, it would make no difference.
So Turbo does go for the early int again.
He does go for it again. But Tagada didn't go for transport rush this time. He's making inties only.
By the way, do you see this Tagada Navy factory in like the middle of the water? I guess he noticed
Oh,
he had a bit too much mass, and so he's taking emergency measures.
yeah, that's a bit weird. It's a weird intie fight. Intie from Turbo just took a single shot at the back of Tagada's inties and then turned around and fled. uh,
Not in my neighborhood.
but this is actually going great for Turbo because now Tagada is being. There was an intie on his side of the map. He thinks there might be a crashing coming, but Turbo is just dropping.
Yeah, there's 5 interceptors against 2, and he's being super passive with them.
Yeah,
He goaded Tagada into playing safe.
that's sometimes the issue on maps like this. Like even on 20-kilometer maps that have drops at the start, even if you have air, it doesn't necessarily matter because it needs to be at the correct place, and it's hard to have lots of air and intel, and also stuff like bombers and your own transports all at the same time. So he did spot Turbo's drop. Um, so now he's deciding to move across the map with his intis because
Are we gonna see the rare bomber v bomber micro, and who's gonna drop on the bomber first wins air on the left over here?
not sure.
Yeah, Tagada's. I guess Tagada's really hoping. Oh, I guess he's gonna kill that engineer up there.
Yeah, but
Can it get? It's gonna get the reclaim. Yes.
I mean, building the max is a bit more important. I feel, unless yeah, he doesn't need to reclaim at the moment. Okay, it's not almost an auto dodge by stopping, but not
I mean, I
quite.
guess the issue is if he didn't get the reclaim, the bomber was gonna kill it.
No,
That's
that's true. Uh, okay, so actually Tagada wins the airfight on Turbo's side of the map because I'm not really sure how. I guess Turbo didn't assist his air factory, which is a bit weird considering I assume he saw that Tagada didn't drop yet. So if there's a late drop, it means that he's likely going to be aggressive, which is kind of happening.
so the bomber from Turbo is going down to. Yeah. See, so he. I don't think he's talking about the air. He's either talking about the air interceptors or he's talking about the fact that Tagada's dropping these engineers right where his ACU is coming.
He's talking about the
Because he
airfights.
did see this transport because his bomber saw it coming like completely.
Okay. Yeah, it should be fine. That SU is more than on time. And that bomber from Turbo only got one engineer so far. It's an Aeon bomber. It's gonna try to micro it. Gonna get the second engineer, that's nice.
Pretty early T2 mechs from Turbo as well.
Bits, yeah. That's a nice bomber from Tagada.
I
Almost
think that was 3 engineers.
There's 2 survived on 4 and 12 HP, that's quite lucky. But overall, Turbo is a lot faster getting to his island.
Yeah, he's got a second T2. He's 2 more T2 mechs started. He's Turbo.
Yeah, I mean, you have quite a bit of mass early game on this map, so it's not too surprising. It's just he doesn't have the E to afford those maxes. He's stalling 400 E per second. He's making tech to air and those maxes and more power. Oh,
I don't quite understand why Tagada dropped this island. He's had to have seen the ACU, but he's building factories instead of PDs.
The Turbo is just building maxes.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Turbo didn't see it when his bomber saw the NGs coming.
Yeah. But now there's a bit of mass investment from Tagada, and it's gonna be wasted. Although it will delay the maxes by a bit.
Now the trick is to get the Mantis and assist the PD. Tagada's paused his T2 air factory, and his navy build power consists of this one really random navy factory.
Yeah.
That's like super far away from ever getting assisted.
I mean, yeah, it's. I mean, it's gonna be at least pretty decently quick frigates, but so far he has 2 frigates versus none because it was so early, and he also has air control, although I guess there's an AA, so he can't do much about it, and there's tech to air from Turbo.
And he's dropping 1 engineer. I mean, I guess it helps out with speeding up this expansion.
Funnily enough, this drop on the left will delay Turbo's island for quite a bit, because he has to catch all the mantis.
Ring around the rosy.
Yeah, exactly. And the island is barely big enough to properly dodge the ASU if you pay attention.
Oh, and Tagada's frigate is going for this one mechs instead of the build power, so it's not even
Okay.
going to get that much value.
Yeah. There's that engineer from Tagada is stealing a mess on the island. And that one just got the big rock. He attack moved it. Instantly got the big rock. You monster.
You should capture the factory.
Honestly, I think this factory, this drop was worth it. He invested like he dropped 3 engineers and he made 2 factories and a few units. But look how long these matches are being delayed.
Yeah. He should have maybe instead of like the early T2 mexes, he probably could have gotten away with getting a transport out. Like, yeah, he doesn't have air, but it's just so difficult to have the intelligence to notice the transport coming at any point on a 20x20. So even though you might be behind in air, the transport should be able to land, and you'd have the extra NGs there to help you scale up over there.
Yeah, true. His tactic maxes were probably a bit too early, because he stalled both mass and power while trying to make them, and because of that, he's still so late on his left island that now he's just a lot mass down. Even though he got a quick attack to maxes, but Tagada secured his islands, and now he's ecoing, but he has the extra 16 mass from that island.
He's no, Turbo has also gone T2 land on his far right expansion, so he's time to win control of the South Island with some blazes.
Okay.
Although I don't think he's aware that literally like all Navy build tower will be on the right island for Tagada.
Some tech to gunships from Tagada and also the bomber harassing. Should probably prep some static AAs on the islands, at least one per island, to deal with some random harassment.
I'm not sure if this was a misclick or if Tagada was trying to pick up his renegade units over here in a transport on the left island.
I'm not sure.
Oh, here's the T2 air from Turbo as well.
Yes. Torpedo bomber out. So far, it looks quite good for Tagada though. He still has these annoying 3 mantis, although they are about to die. Uh, and he's dropping at the islands at the top as well with the transports. He's, of course, he's versus Aeon, and so renegades don't die to frigate AA. He's actually killing the early blazes, and that air control, there's nothing to shoot up. He has to build some flak, I guess. Wait, will the gunships lock the factory? Oh no, there's already flak out. Never mind.
Well, I mean, there is a lot of. If you can split these gunships, you can kill that flag.
He's nicely microing. He can kill the flag, but the second one is already out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'll be too much.
And now the Indies as well. Yeah. So it's kind of fine in the end.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a lot of. I don't know, Turbo shouldn't be retreating his Navy for.
Ooh, that air. They just go past each other. What is this even? And then he's gonna catch the out of few Indies? No? And now another part of Indies merge, and that was a mess. At least all the gunships died. No, Turbo, stop sending in more Indies. It's already over.
And he's gonna literally drop all of the back islands.
Yeah, it's very strong to do so. At least it's easier to clear it off with Aeon frigates. The chance of not being in reach of the mantis there is lower. And now, oh, here comes the flag, but it's a bit too far back.
Yeah, it'll depend on if Tagada responds properly.
There's an hero static AA on the island though. Sadly, its targeting is super bad.
Yeah, I mean, Turbo actually has some decent intel because he has both of these radars. Or no, he didn't build a radar on the left, the right one. It died.
Look at this Tech 1 AA on the island.
Yeah.
Somehow its DPS is way smaller than I thought it would be.
Well, it is a vetted interceptor.
It's double vetted. Yeah, it's still 300 mass skills. Some torpedo bombers now.
I like how Turbo's torpedo bombers are just trying to find something to kill. vainly.
There's no navy there. But yeah, the frigates are nicely killing the mexes. The left island looks a bit undefended from Tagada.
Well, that's just because all his navy production is literally on the right. It's like
Oh yeah,
absurdly far for him to
but not
go
only
right.
navy. Usually you make like another land factory, and especially you make usually tech to land on the side where your issue isn't at, or at
Yeah,
least
like
somewhere.
if Turbo dropped like 6 Aurora over here.
Exactly.
Well, not even with the gunships there. But.
Well, yeah, if you don't count the air that literally just moved over there, there's a few engineers in one factory. If there's any bit of a decent drop, the entire island can die, and that doesn't happen for Turbo's island because of all the build power and the land and navy factories. In the end, it looks quite even. Honestly.
I'm wondering if Tagada's gonna push into these blazes, and yeah, he's got to respect the blazes a bit.
Yeah, look at those frigates get insta melted. That's that's a death ball.
Yikes.
You can't get close to that, my man. Blazes needs to be respected. It's so easy to not respect them, but yeah.
Turbo's even getting T2 mexes on his island. Oh yeah, but I guess Tagada is as well. Tagada's caught up in eco a good bit.
Yeah, it's pretty even on both eco. The E is looking exactly even, and actually the both air and navy. Actually, everything looks completely even.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing because yeah, you would expect Turbo to be the one to initiate the T2 transition. So I'm interested in seeing if when does he plan on going into Destros, or is he just going to keep going the Blaze and Air route?
Oh, now
Kinda
Tagada
like
is getting a nice engagement. Picks of 3 frigates, I think. Oh, last shot got it. Yeah. Why is there a mole right side of Turbo Space in one island?
The Tagada dropped like 4 Mantis and 1 Mole, and by that island he only had the 1 Mantis and the 1 Mole left. I guess he did it because he gives him radar on his transport.
How then? Explain how the Max is dead.
Oh, because there was a Mantis there. Like I said, he dropped the Mantis and the Mole on that island.
Don't see a wreck. Okay, a big navy fight now on the right side. I'm actually not sure. That's still a lot of concentrated
I think Turbo's
DPS.
winning that. It's gonna be a draw.
But the reclaim will be on Turbo's side, so. But Turbo definitely needs to send more reinforcements because there's lots of frigates reinforcements coming. I think Tagada will actually win it.
There's so many red HP frigates.
Yeah, he needs to focus a few of them. There we go, that's one. But the frigates from Tagada are way better, of course. But he's kind of stopped building blazes on a lot of assistance, and this is actually. The start went kind of fine, but there's too many reinforcements from Tagada, so now it's ended up being a terrible fight. He needs to get out of there and lose all that navy production. I don't think he can handle it. Like that's 5k reclaim, but he should wait until reinforcements come, because that's a big loss actually. He built quite some flak actually. He does have a few torpedo launchers to get some value. And Tagada can move in, I'm not sure if he realizes, but the longer he balances on the range of the torpedo launchers, the worse it will be. Because the range is quite nice on those usually. Turbo's frigates also should be positioned behind the factories, but this is a mess.
Yeah, Tagada's gonna get the reclaim now.
He dropped the reclaim, yeah, that's a very nice drop. Although these turbo launchers are getting quite some sick value actually. No, don't focus them, that's against the rules.
Turbo's putting all his mass into these T2 mexes. If he cut back on 2 of these T2 mexes, he would have been able to win this fight.
Maybe, yeah.
Because he's almost like full T2 on his entire island, his home island.
But the biggest question is honestly, where's the Tech 2 Navy? He's on 100 mass income, and as Aeon rushing Tech 2 Navy, it's super logical.
He just made it in his home base, and now he's making Vespers.
There's a single blaze killing the engineers that Tagada dropped.
Hero.
Oh, it's gonna die to being reclaimed.
Ah.
Oh. Uh,
Yeah, I mean it's Tagada's going for the classic strat. Spam tridents literally everywhere.
it's very
It's gonna be up.
successful. There's a
Yeah,
trident with 800 mass skills, one with 600, another 600, another 800, 500, one with 1,000. These fights have been so efficient, and he's getting the reclaim as well.
it's gonna be up to Turbo to get massive value out of these subs. I'm not sure if he's gonna have the air to do it though.
Uh,
Oh, he does have a lot of swift wins in this actually.
I'm surprised he's making Tech 2 subs and no destroyers. I mean, I guess he doesn't want to get swarmed, but still, it's you can kite pretty well with destroyers. I feel like this is a suicide. This is a complete suicide of air by Turbo.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he went so aggressive with it. Oh, I guess it was an accident.
I guess it was a misclick. And there's the control cache. That was quite unfortunate. Yeah, if you get this bad of an air crush after the Navy was already losing, then there's no way to come back. Because now Tagada is gonna build a ton of Corsairs, gunships, and torp bombers. And you can't torp the frigates, and he already lost it. He was kind of supposed to get back with Tech 2 Navy, with the Tech 2 subs or something. But
It was just a bit too greedy of an eco investment. I think he really shouldn't have done it on the Cybern, which relies on that snowball
I don't
early
think
fuel.
the eco investment did. Like, he didn't invest way more in eco than Tagada did. They're even on Tech 2 Maxes mostly. The big issue though is that one terrible fight that he had, it just snowballed out of control, and then it basically was a 4-minute fight at the end, and he kept suiciding and losing more frigates. Well, Tagada just kept getting more value, and it can't really happen, especially not in a place where lots of your production is, because he had two factories with lots of assistance as well, and I think that was really the bad place, because that's what the real damage was, because that lost the reclaim shield to Tagada, and then it kind of snowballs out of control.
What do you think it was like when they first fought to make that reclaim engagement over there? Do you think that Turbo was still contesting the game in that situation?
Yeah, it was. The issue is Tagada had 8 Navy factories with engineer assistance, actually more than 8 Navy factories, and they were all rallying frigates to support the fight. So while the fight was going on, he kept reinforcing with more frigates. Well, Turbo only had 2 Navy factories reinforcing, and the Navy factories in his main base were not being reinforced to that location. And the reinforcements is what tipped the balance eventually.
Well, you see, young man, I'm saying that he put all the mass into those mexes rather than into supporting those Navy factories.
Well, yeah, but Tagada did the same thing. He made the same amount of maxes.